Hey guys, today I want to go over what I think are some of the best jobs you can get right now without a college degree. And before we get into it, don't forget to hit that like button, click subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my new content. I post new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So one of the first jobs I want to get into is postal worker. There are tons of jobs that you can get as a postal worker, ranging from being a mailman to being a sorter or even a customer clerk. Now all these different positions do different tasks as well during the day, but I kind of want to focus on being a mailman because it's kind of one of the most common ones. So it's pretty obvious what a mailman does, but if you're not aware, pretty much you're going to go do your rounds every day. You're going to pick it up at the facility and you're going to go on your route every day. It's the same route and go deliver mail. It's not as simple as just delivering packages. You have to make sure that you're delivering them on time and meeting a certain quota of how many you deliver per hour. You also have to review and make sure that you're delivering the correct packages to the correct households. And lastly, you also have to assist in loading and unloading the truck. The average salary you would make starting would be around $30,000 a year. Of course, that's just starting salary. Since it is a government job, you will be getting pay raises throughout the years, and the more years you put down, the more you'll make. So for instance, if you work for maybe 10 years, you'll be making around $40,000 per year, and then 20 years, you'll be making around 50. This all depends on the state you live in, of course. Also, you'll get a pension from your state for the time you worked. So when you retire, you can retire even earlier and you'll be making a high pension back from the government. It's not required to have any degree to work this job. There will be some moderate training though involved. The next job I want to go over is being an HVAC technician. Pretty much what an HVAC tech does is you're a specialist that can install and repair air conditioning and heating systems in homes and businesses. So if you ever have an AC that goes out and you need someone to repair it, you'll call an HVAC specialist. Now it may not be the most exciting job, but one of the benefits of this job as well is that just like a postal service worker, you do get a pension. It is part of a union, so that's pretty good. And it's also a very stable industry, as most people need new heating systems and air conditionings installed and repaired. The average salary that you would make from this job is around $45,000 to $48,000. Like I said before with the other jobs, they will vary. Same thing as the postal service, you probably will be making more the more years you put under your belt. And same thing with the postal service, you're going to have moderate training to start. There probably will be some classes or training involved that will be provided by the company that hires you. Or you may have to take a few classes in order to be certified. The next job I want to go over is being an equipment operator. This job is more focused on being in the construction industry. This job will require you to operate excavators, rollers, pavers, and even dump trucks. This job will require you to maintain, repair, and build new roads, bridges, and even buildings. Most construction jobs do offer unions, so you will get a pension most likely from working. And the average pay you would make is around $48,000. Just like all the other industries, you'll probably make more the longer you're there. The job is going to require you to have moderate training, as maybe you need a certificate before you do it, or if you get a job, you might get the job training on site. Alright, the next job I want to get into is either being a driver or a delivery driver. Now this is probably the lowest paying job you can get right now, but it does have a lot of flexibility with your scheduling and how much you can make. So to get into it though, there are different apps that you can use to start driving. There's Uber, there's Lyft, there's DoorDash, there is Grubhub, the list goes on. Now with some of those apps you can either deliver food or you can drive people around kind of like a taxi does. The benefit to doing this job is that you create your own schedule so you can go live whenever you want. The issue is though, if you don't go live often, you'll make less money because you're not doing as much work. Another issue with making your own schedule and going live whenever you want is that you may miss out on peak hours where you might get more rides within the time limit you work. Another issue with those apps is that you may live in a less populated area, which means you may get less rides or deliveries. On average, you can make around $31,000 per year as a driver, but like I said, it can vary depending on the hours you put in. There are a lot of people that do put in a lot of hours and can make more than that average, so it's really up to you. If you want to make more money, you put in the work, you get the money back. The only requirement with these apps is that you must have a reliable form of transportation in order to bring them to their destination. And you must also have a valid driver's license with a clean history. The next job I want to get into is becoming a police officer. And it's pretty obvious that a police officer, one of their main goals is to protect and serve the community. But there are also other tasks involved as well. Some days you can see a police officer doing traffic control. Others you may see responding to emergency calls or writing citations. It can kind of vary any day. One of the biggest risks with this job obviously is that you are protecting your community, so there is a risk involved that you could lose your life or get severely injured. You have to be aware of this before you even want to sign up for the job, as it is probably one of the riskiest jobs you can have. Now on average, starting as a police officer, you can make around $30,000 to $40,000 a year. This is dependent on the state you live in, and you can see upwards of $70,000 to $80,000 when you put in more time. And because you work for the state, you also will get a pension as well. Now, to become an officer, there are different requirements per state. Sometimes you may need to be of a certain age. Some states are 18, some are 21. You also may need some college credits depending on the state. I know that in New York you do need 60 credits of college in order to become an officer, but not every state is like that, so that's why it's on this list. The next job I want to go over is becoming a plumber. I know it's not really the most lavish field you can get into, but some of these plumbers can be very high paid. Now, there are different kinds of plumbers out there. Some are more home and some are more industrial. That could be working in plants or even construction sites. Or you could just be a home plumber or business plumber that does, regular pipes for bathrooms or kitchens or just in general. In order to start working this job, you will need a high school diploma, like most of these other jobs will require you, but there will be some extra training and education involved. You may have to go for some technical training or even go for a technical certificate. And one of the benefits of this job is that it is a union job, so you will get a pension. The average yearly wage will be around $40,000 to $50,000 depending on when you start. Higher on the side, of course, the more time you put in. And the last job I want to get into is becoming an electrician. Becoming an electrician can be a very valuable skill to learn and to work with. Some of the work that electricians would do during the day is repairing wiring or installing wiring in households or businesses. Other times they may be checking households to make sure that the electrical work is up to code and it's safe. One of the cool things about being an electrician is that you can use your skills to kind of make side hustles and help family and friends out and make some extra side cash. This job will require some training. It may take some certifications as well, depending on the level of electrician you want to be. And the average salary you can make is around $55,000. You will get a pension as well, as it is a union job. And of course, the longer you work there, the more money you will make. Thanks for watching, guys. And don't forget, before you leave, make sure you hit that like button, click subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my new content. I post new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Also, don't forget, at the end of the month, I have a giveaway. If you want to know more information about it, just check the details in the description below.